Today we shoot lasers. Hey everyone, and welcome to a laser gun tutorial that we use, and these were the lasers that we used in our latest short film Alien, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do them. So for our actual shockwaves we used Video Copilot shockwave assets, but you can use any kind of shockwaves. These just look really nice and you can colour them easily. So we put that on our footage and then we screened it to the footage, so get rid of the black background and put it to the right time, which I like right before the recoil, just to get the extra shazam. And then just watch that through. So that already looks quite good, as you can see there. But next up we need to add some colour. So I'm going to add a curves effect now. And then I'm thinking for this one I might go blue, red, or maybe purple. So let's throw that on there. And we're going to go straight down to blue and pump that up a bit. Okay, just quickly go to the footage so we can actually see what we're doing, and then we're going to go to the red, green, blue, and turn that down. Put the red up a bit, and now we're getting the sort of purpley colour. Don't want to put it up above the blue, because otherwise you get a pinky look, and we're not looking to get that. Add a bit of contrast there. And then we'll take the green right down because we don't want that, and that darkens it a bit. And the alpha, that can just go down a bit, like so. So now we have this. Okay, so that looks all quite good. It looks a bit fake. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to pump up the red, green, blue a tiny bit, just make it a bit brighter. That looks a bit better now. And we'll put the alpha up a bit as well, and contrast. No, actually that looks awful. Let's get rid of that. Oh dear. That's not good. Okay, so we've got that now. So it looks like so. Okay, so I like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a displacement underneath the shockwave. So to start this, we're going to make a new adjustment layer. And then we're going to position that underneath the shockwave but above our initial footage. Whoops, just clicked on that. There we go. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're then going to grab this and we're just going to drag it along to where we want, and we're going to, okay, let's actually mask it out first. We're going to mask around where we want the displacement to actually happen. And now we'll shorten it to the right length. Okay, so we're going to add turbulent displacement to get the displace behind it, just because I like it. Now the trick to this is to not overdo it, because otherwise it looks really, really weird. So we want quite a small amount, but something so you can see it's a bit different. And here I forgot to feather it, so you might want to do that, because if you don't feather it, it won't look as good, which is a bit silly that I didn't do that. Then I'm going to keyframe the evolution. So we've got an animation, so I'm just going to click the keyframe and then move to the end of my footage and move it forward 1x. And that's just a small amount. It's small but subtle, and it looks quite good. Okay, so if we look at this, so that's quite good, but it's a bit slow, so I'm going to go to time times stretch, and instead of stretching it, I'm going to shorten it as try 50. See how that looks, and we'll do that on the other one. Okay, and you just need to keep on playing around until it's quite short, and there you go, that's quite good. I think I'm going to shorten it a tiny bit more. So if we go and time remap the shockwave, I think I put it around 10ish, 5 maybe. Let's go with that. This is completely how it works for my footage. You want to play around with different bits. This just works for me. So that looks okay. I like that. Okay, so that is the front on view for a laser. So now we're going to move on to the side on view, which we're going to use a clever trick for to make a more definite laser beam. So we're going to start off just by adding a simple shockwave. And we're going to get that, screen it, so that looks like quite a cool shockwave, and we'll work out just before the recoil. And then we'll move it to there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it into a 3D object, and then I'm going to change the orientation to suit the gun. Now the problem with this is it's a 2D image, so if you do it too far, then you don't see anything apart from the white edge. So you want to really get a very, very like near to the end angle, but you don't want to reveal that it's a 2D layer, because otherwise it does not look good. So next up we're going to time remat stretch this. We're going to put it around 15, maybe a bit shorter. There we go. Now let's see how that looks. Okay, so that looks quite good, and it's a good speed. I'm happy with that. So I'm going to close that, and then we're going to grab the curves effect, and we're going to slap that onto the shockwave. Okay, and then we're going to pump up the red. I think I'm going for quite a red sort of thing. Let's try. No, that doesn't look good. No, that's not good. So we'll just bring the blue and the green down, and that creates quite a nice reddy colour. We're going to pull the red down just a little bit so it's not too vibrant, and that looks like quite a cool effect. Let's zoom out and watch that. Yeah, I like that. That looks good. Okay, so now we've got that, what we want to do is we want to add in another shockwave. So I'm going to throw that on there and then screen it onto our footage, and then we'll just quickly time and fix that time, make it a bit shorter and faster, and move that to the correct position. Okay, so now we've got a shockwave, and what we're going to do is we're going to add a polar rect effect. No, polar coordinates, and we're going to polar rect it so it becomes a straight line. And when you've got this, you can put it on a CC cylinder, which creates it into sort of a 3D object, which looks like a laser beam. So when we've got that, it's quite hard to see because it's white, but we'll add a curves effect in a moment. We just want to quickly orientate it and position it like a laser beam. So this time it's a bit easy, you just need to find the right coordinate, and I picked the wrong two. There we go, third time lucky. There we go, and we'll position it onto there, and I'm going to scale it down a bit because the trick to this is you want it to start quite small, and then you're going to keyframe it to get larger so it looks like it's dying away. And I'm going to stretch it longer a bit so it looks just a little bit cooler. Okay, so now I'm looking for CC curves. It's not CC curves, it's just curves. Put that on there, and let's tweak the colour. So we want a red. So we'll grab red and we'll pull that up a bit. Pull down the green, pull down the blue, and pull down the red, green, blue, and put up the alpha. And it's quite hard to see, but it really adds to the effect, just like a little subtle bit. And now what we're going to do is we're going to keyframe the scale of this. So we'll just start off at the small scale there, and then beef it up a bit. Now the problem when you do this is it goes off, so you can see it's gone behind the initial shockwave. So we also need to keyframe the position. So if we just move that to where it should be, and then go back here and keyframe the position in the right place, you can see now it looks like this. Quite cool. So there we go. So I just wanted to quickly show you this in Premiere Pro when you export it over to here. We've got our finished thing here, tutorial edit. Now what I've done is I've added in some sound, and that sounded horrible, from Video Copilot's Motion Pulse. So I know I'm really like selling them out here, but they do really good stuff. So I've got their Shockwave and their Motion Pulse sound effects. So here we have the Sonic Pulse, Sonic 6, which sounds really cool, and also the Subsonic Sonic Pulse Hit 02. Complicated names. This one sounds a lot like a laser, and this is just a really cool sort of sci-fi-ish, something that you'd expect underneath a laser sound. So the trick to this is combining them together and creating a cool new sound effect. So here we've got, so that really sounds quite, God, that's a horrible noise when you scroll over. It creates a really sci-fi sound, which is quite cool. So there was that little extra bit for you.